FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
Welcome. You're listening to the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry Lutz. And, well, do you have time, a little bit of money, and ready to learn something new that will hopefully make you even more money? Well, Mark Dannenberg, you have written a best-selling book called The Art of Trading, More Profits in Less Time, and kind of gone from interesting background, senior executive at ADP. You were hobby trading, and now you've quit your job and converted your hobby into a business focused on helping people learn. The title of your book, The Art of Trading, and we want to welcome you, Mark.
Thank you, Kerry. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
So trading, my experiences with trading has been nothing short of disastrous. I always say as a disclaimer on this show, do not listen to anything I tell you as far as investing, because you are guaranteed to lose money, at least in the short run, and been pretty accurate in that prediction. Plus, it helps eliminate lawsuits, because somebody says, well, I did this because he told me to. And I said, hey, I guaranteed you were going to lose money. The judge is going to look at that and toss the case. But in all seriousness, I do know people, some of my best friends when I lived in New York were really successful traders. And I always felt, Mark, that I didn't have the temperament to be one.
Well, not everybody does. And those who do, it depends on what type of trading you do. So there are professional traders who trade stocks, commodities, futures. We happen to trade options. You know, we specialize in options, and we even refine that a bit more, and we specialize in trading options on 3 major indexes. We don't generally trade stock options. We trade index options, the NASDAQ 100, the S&P 500, and the Russell 2000. And there are several reasons that we do that help eliminate a lot of the fear and anxiety that's usually associated with trading, which is kind of interesting, Kerry, because in the 30 years I've been trading, I've encountered hundreds and hundreds of traders, and it seems like one of the most common denominators with those traders is they all have this apprehension, this fear, this, I'm holding my breath and I'm not sure if everything's going to be okay. But they all come into trading hoping that they can improve their financial outlook and make some money. And they can do that, but they need to apply a little discipline to learn how to do that rather than just jumping in. Several years ago, I decided I wanted to learn how to fly. And although I ended up not fully completing my license, I went through the majority of the program, and there were a lot of analogies to trading. I would never want to get in the cockpit of a plane and fly without my flight instructor showing me what I needed to do, because it was a great way for me to crash and burn if I just thought I could jump into this and do it on my own. Trading is really no different. You put your hard-earned money at risk without really understanding what you're doing, or because your neighbor whispered over the fence to you that they thought this might be a good opportunity for you. That's a great way to fulfill the guarantee that you give people that they're going to lose money. And we don't like people to lose money. I believe that anybody who has the passion and commitment and the discipline to learn can be a successful trader. And that commitment of time does not need to be a long period of time. We have a program where we help people over a 6-month period learn how to trade and trade independently. During that 6-month time frame, we ask them to commit roughly 30 minutes a day, and we provide to them an educational video every day that is responding to what the market is doing, showing them how to trade in a variety of markets rather than trying to teach them from a textbook or teach them in a 2-day weekend course. We actually give them adult supervision for 6 months. We show them what we are trading. We tell them why we're trading that. We tell them how we chose the trade, and we show them all of our profits and our losses. It's a full, transparent program. So if they choose to follow along with our trades, they will learn. If they choose not to follow along with the trade, they can still learn. And their performance may be a little different than ours because there are some variables to when they may fill a position versus when we fill a position. And sometimes that variable is positive and sometimes it's less positive. But the focus is to commit yourself to something that will teach you how to achieve a more secure financial future for yourself.
Yeah. And obviously, so like you say, you wouldn't get into a cockpit if you didn't have the necessary skills, and certainly not without an instructor by your side so that you don't crash and burn, obviously. But how do you control what your losses or your trades when you have the kind of market that we had in the past week? I mean, it seems
the past few days have been an outstanding opportunity for people to really learn how to navigate their way through an unprecedented move in the market. And we have management techniques and adjustment techniques that allow us to overcome the drawdowns or the losses that we may incur. There's two different levels. We can either manage a individual position and adjust that by adding time to the position or adjusting the strikes of our spread position. And if we're in a situation where we can't manage that individual position, then we manage the overall portfolio to negate the risk of that loss on the portfolio. That's what we're doing right now. I mean, we were dealt a hand here that was unprecedented, and we're managing through just three positions. We never have a tremendous amount of risk in the market. We trade with small risk, and we recycle that capital frequently to earn big profits. I consider it big. And so when we do end up in a situation like this, then it's manageable for us. It's a situation where we may end up giving some of our profits back, but we're still going to be significantly net ahead. So to put that into perspective, we started a program at the beginning of last quarter where our clients can commit to risking about $5,000 of their capital. They should have an account that is $8,000 or more, but then they'll risk $5,000. During last quarter, they earned just under $6,400 of profits. And so far this quarter, they've earned another $11,000 of profits. Well, that's a significant return, and we may end up giving back a couple thousand of that as we navigate through this big market sell-off, but it's not going to be a big hit to us. So we can manage positions, but more importantly, we manage the portfolio.
Well, it sounds
and we teach them how to do that.
And you have real-life clients who've done this, right?
We have hundreds of clients who are following along with us. I mean, I get a lot of gratification out of the emails that I get from clients telling me what their profits are, how much they're enjoying our program, how much they've learned about options trading. So yes, these are live clients who are doing this, and we've got many, many, many testimonials on our website from clients. And I also do a weekly review of our program that we record and is actually available out on YouTube. So we put ourselves out there, full disclosure, full transparency. I show the profits that we've taken, net after fees and commissions. It's a big question a lot of people ask, well, what about costs? I only report profits after fees and commissions, so it is your true net profit. And we have a very simple spreadsheet that we keep track of the program profits. I do an update every week on Friday after the close of the market, and it's out on YouTube for anybody who wants to see it.
Sounds pretty impressive. And give us an example of one client who's over the years you've known, and what his performance has been.
Well, I have several clients I work with that I've worked with one-on-one over the years. I have a young lady, her name is Allison, who started coaching with me about 5 years ago. Allison was 23 years old when she started learning how to trade options. Her father wanted her to learn, and she became a very, very good student and really learned how to effectively trade. So much so that Allison now works for me. She's part of my trading team.
Really?
didn't expect that to happen when I started working with her. She was a performing arts major, had just gotten her degree in college, and her dad wanted her to learn how to do this and hired me to coach her. And we did. And not only does she work for me now, but she also assists her father in managing some family money. So she's a great example of how someone can be very successful. And I also admire Allison because she's very young when she learned this, and this is a skill that she's going to have for the rest of her life. It's a skill that is knowledge-based that nobody can ever take away from her. And as long as she has capital to work with and can leverage that knowledge, she'll always have an opportunity to make money in her life.
That's a great story, and that's the kind of thing we like to hear. And so I guess, how do you make the system simple? Because options seem very complicated to the average person, the average investor.
Well, the complication really is in, I believe, the method of learning. I've watched, so many traders attend webinars, attend seminars. I used to teach live seminars, would have as many as 500 people in my seminars. And I'd listen to their stories about how they learned. And they would read a book, and then they go try to learn how to trade. And for me, and I'm going to use the flight analogy again, it's the difference between ground school, where I can read all the theoretical concepts of aerodynamics and how you do this, but until you get in the cockpit and have a professional, knowledgeable coach show you step by step, you're not really going to be successful. So I believe that options trading is actually relatively simple, but that's because I devoted 20 years as a hobby and 10 years of teaching people. So I have 30 years of experience. But this 6-month program that we've put together is designed to take someone from, I don't really know that much about options, to I feel confident with trading on my own on a daily basis. Number one, the biggest fear people have in trading options is that they're going to lose a whole bunch of money. And so we don't let them risk a whole bunch of money in the program. Now, I say we don't let them. I can't control exactly what they choose to do, but we provide guidance as to what we believe they should do. So we minimize the risk. We start with just $5,000, and we break that up into multiple positions. And then we show them how to structure a trade. We tell them what that trade will likely do. We tell them when to get into the trade and how to choose that. And we've designed the program to be very, very simplistic so that people can comprehend exactly what's happening and learn from the ground up. And then the daily 15 to 30 minute video that I do for everyone, that's 5 days a week, every day, or every week for 6 months. That has a tremendous amount of repetition in it. And I'm drawing on my old corporate days where I used to be involved in leading a learning organization. And one of the things that I had the benefit of learning is that adults learn based on repetition. And sometimes it takes as many as 7 times to hear the same thing to really internalize it and comprehend it. So the daily videos provide a tremendous amount of repetition so that they can start to see how this plays out in multiple markets. We don't just throw everything at them. We don't just tell them what to do. We teach them and we show them, and we do it through our own positions. And I think that that's the combination of factors that helps somebody be very successful.
And I guess this is an online learning program, right? So for 6 months, how do you connect with the students? Is it video, webinar? How's that work?
The daily update that I do is a video where I'm showing my charts and I'm showing my trading platform, and they can see exactly what we are doing, and I'm describing those positions. The weekly update that I do is also in a video format, and we post that out to YouTube just as informational. And then periodically I do a live webinar with everybody that's a Q&A session. So it's intended to fill the blanks in. Some people learn in different ways. Some people need to ask questions. And then other than that, we communicate our trades to them via an email and or text each time we open, close, or manage a position. We send an email text to them and say, this is what we are doing. And in the daily update today, we're going to describe to you why we chose that trade and why we believe that will be a good trade.
Uh-huh. And trading in just 3 options, I guess that simplifies it a lot, right? 3 contracts. 3 indexes, the NASDAQ 100, the S&P 500, and the Russell 2000. There are two very simplistic parts about that. One is a lot of people fail trading options because they are scouring the entire universe of optionable stocks trying to look for the next best trade. And you never really become knowledgeable about any particular stock. Now, some people have their favorite stocks, but then stocks individually are subject to the whims and influences of analysts, and they can influence the price of a stock one direction or another. We trade the indexes because you become very intimately familiar with the patterns. And we use a very simple charting formula. We use Bollinger Bands and we use support and resistance. And when you learn to recognize those, you'll never want to look at anything but these 3 indexes. And then there's one other very simple thing that a lot of traders I find don't even recognize. There are 2 different expiration types on options. There's American expiration style and there's European expiration style. And the indexes are European style. And what that means is if you ever have a position that's in the money, American style holders are always fearful and at risk of being exercised or assigned, which is not a good thing in options trading. Right. European style expiration, those options can only be exercised or assigned at expiration, where American style can be exercised or assigned anytime leading up to expiration. So with this big market sell-off that we saw Monday, market moved down huge. I had 3 positions that were in the money. If those were stock positions, every day I'm worried about being exercised or assigned. I'm starting to lose control over being able to manage my positions. Because I have index positions and I have 3 to 4 weeks to expiration, I don't worry about being exercised or assigned. And it gives me the ability to just calmly respond to what's happening rather than have to react to what's happening in a panic. So that's just a couple of the reasons that we use the indexes. So basically you can get involuntarily closed out of your position if you're not using the proper options.
That's right. On the American style expiration, which are all stocks and ETFs.
Right.
And so that's one of the big reasons we like the indexes.
Yeah, because you can't get exercised out of an index, obviously, because what would they buy? It's a cash settlement option, right?
It's a cash settlement. You can still get exercised or assigned, which is unfortunate impact to the cash in your account, but it can only happen at expiration, and we're in control of that. We can avoid holding a position at expiration.
Got it. Interesting. So the latest move in the market, if I might ask, were you able to profit from this mass decline?
Well, if you saw, the decline started last Thursday.
Right. Correct.
And last week in our Profit Builder program, we had a target of $1,200 of profit for the week. That's how much we ideally would have wanted to have made based on our projections. We ended up with an $1,800 profit. So we did really well last week. This week, we have a profit target of the same, about $1,200. And as we sit here today, week to date, we're up about $1,700. Now, where we finish for the week will be determined based on the rest of today's trading and tomorrow's trading. And the only report card that matters to us is where we are at the end of Friday's trading. So we took profits of $1,800 last week. Week to date, we're up about $1,700, and we've done pretty well.
I'll say. Anyone would be really happy with that kind of return, how much was at risk to gain that?
We had approximately 10,000 at risk.
Okay, well, so if you could make that more than you lost during the year, you'd do pretty well.
Yeah, one of the things, Kerry, is people measure trading based on win-loss ratio, and I think it is a misleading number. I don't really care how many positions I lose on, and I don't care how many positions I win on. I take a snapshot of my report card at the close of Friday every week. Did I make money or did I lose money?
Sure.
And when I look back since the beginning of last quarter, and basically we're up $18,000 for 1.5 quarters, having started with $5,000 of risk, that validates for me that we're doing something pretty significant. It also tells me that in a big market move like this, if I donated back to the market and just took some losses, let's say I donated back $3,000, I'm still up $15,000.
Right.
That's a significant return having started with $5,000. And the way you do that isn't by putting a lot of money at risk. You do that by taking small bites of risk, small, consistent profits, and recycling that same capital over and over again.
Gotcha.
Based on what we've done for the 1.5 quarters, if I project out to the 1-year anniversary date of our Profit Builder program, people potentially make $100,000 off of their $5,000. But when you tell someone that, they think that there's a huge amount of risk associated with that, and there just isn't.
Gotcha. Understood. Well, I'm sure if you're listening, you're as interested in this as I am, so you're going to want to get in touch with Mark, check out his website, and see what his latest offer is. Where do we go, Mark?
The best place to go is ommprofitbuilders.com. ommprofitbuilders.com. You're going to see what this program is about. You can actually download a 1-hour video and get a much better understanding of the strategy that we're using. That's offered to you for free. We are running a special right now. If you're interested in the 6-month program, it's normally a $1,295 price. We're offering it right now for the next few days, probably through the end of the weekend, for $595. So it's less than $100 a month.
And you're with them every step of the way. Well, we will have a link to your site, Mark, on our site in the show note, in the notes to this interview, financialsurvivalnetwork.com. So make sure you go there, check out the site while you're in the neighborhood. Got interesting news coming from all around the globe, alternative financial news, telling you what's really going on rather than what the media would like you to believe. And sign up for our free webinars while you're at it. And Mark, it's really been interesting and enlightening. And next major market move, we will have you back on.
All right, Kerry, thanks for having me.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.